Boots Ennis, first appearance in California, already feeling the California love from the crowd. He has 11 first-round KOs, including his most recent fight for Delorme.
You ready? Ready?
Bell and round one. Clayton, Scotia, best known as the birthplace of Bantam featherweight champ George Dixon in the 1890s, the first black world champion in boxing. And Clayton again has yet to taste defeat as well. A battle of unbeatens, and on paper supposed to provide Ennis with his sternest test. I think we said the same thing about Delorme in the last fight.
Yeah, it was shocking that he was able to knock out Thomas Delorme in round one. Delorme had fought Amanda Stanionis, Yordana Sugas, among others, and gone the distance. Jamal James. Both men starting out with a jab. Clayton lands 7 jabs a round. It's imperative for him that he win the battle of the jabs. Ennis starting out as a righty, but you will see him as a lefty before long.
It could be, and it's going to be a jab battle like you mentioned now. But one thing that you mentioned early on, which is the reach of Ennis, that's going to make it so difficult for Clayton to land that jab.
Sticking with the stick, the jab, and Ennis has scored 20 knockdowns in his past 10 fights. He says it takes him about 30 seconds to figure out what his opponent is going to give him, and then he goes to work. He says he's going to get the knockout. He's going to steal the show. He's ready. Known as Nice People, Clayton may have something to say about that.
Yeah, I think he would like to put a dent in that.
And Ennis looking to put a dent in Clayton with the right hand.
Dang, he took charge. I'm sorry. You can see that Ennis already took charge with the jab, pushing Clayton back with the jab, setting the punches, the 1-2. Again, Clayton, of course, he's a smart fighter. He's waiting for his moment, to come in, because he is a great jabber as well.
2012 Canadian Olympian, one of the best amateurs of his generation. And Al, we liked a lot of what we saw to Custio Clayton in that draw against Sergey Lipinets. In fact, second straight fight here in this venue, coming off a victory, but against a guy like Jaron Ennis, where really it is hard to find any faults with Ennis thus far.
Yeah,
in his career.
Clayton took that fight against Lipinets on very short notice, and that's what made his performance even better.
And Ennis beginning to stop Clayton, put him in his place with a jab, followed by the left hand now from the left.
And I wouldn't disagree with it. Yeah. This guy hits with both hands. Yeah. I mean, you could easily call this guy the switch hitter. Because he switches really well.
Ennis has thrown 60 punches, 52 of them have been jab fest. And there's Clayton going upstairs with a right hand, but it's all the jab of Jaron Ennis to begin these.
Clayton needs to land that punch and hurt Ennis with it.
The bell and round number 2 scheduled for 12. And you'll talk about the ways to describe the rise of Jaron Ennis here now, 24, a real gym rat, a nerd when it comes to boxing, a man who eats, breathes, and lives the sweet science. And there's a reason he has been as successful as he is thus far. And when it comes to his career, it's not so much who he's beaten, but how he's done it.
Yeah, and I don't think Ennis, you guys could correct me, but I don't think Ennis has lost a single round in his career.
Steve Farhood tried to do the research, and he couldn't come up with a clear conclusion, but I think, Al, that's probably a safe bet.
Yeah, the idea that he probably hasn't. So, yeah, he's been dominant in all these fights. Now, I mentioned the overhand right. As a lefty, Ennis is a little more susceptible to that punch. We'll see if Clayton can do it. Clayton mostly throws kind of a straight right hand.
There's a nice left to the body by Ennis, Jaron Ennis. Good technique, very calm, and now Clayton doing what he has to do, trying to break Ennis's rhythm, get him off his game, maybe rough things up a bit.
Yeah, exactly. You have to do that against such a technical fighter like Ennis. Great jab, distance. Clayton just can't get in. He can't get the jab off because Ennis' jab is just way faster.
That jab is like a metronome. It's just bam, bam, the timing perfect. And now there's a straight left, but Clayton takes the shot and stays in front of him.
And there's the stick. He corrects himself right away. He puts himself back in his position where he wants to be.
Straight left to the body by Jaron Ennis on the ropes now, trying to bait Clayton in for that counter, looking for that right hook. And for Jaron Ennis, it does whatever he wants it to do.
And that's great because most of the fighters, a great percentage, do switch because they feel that they need to change the plan. And
that right hand down goes Clayton for the second time in his career.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, hey, walk over there. Wait, continue. Hands up.
Make it 29-0 with one no decision. 27 knockouts. The Ennis Express is a runaway train.
And still hasn't lost a round till this day. Jaron Ennis really is the deal. This guy has, I mean,
And we'll take a look at another angle, and you'll see the jab setting things up, and then here's the right hand. Yeah, it curled around and got him, as I said, around the ear and the temple area, and that is what created the knockdown. And as I said, not the best right hand that Ennis can land, but it was good enough, and it was powerful, and it, for the very first time, Custio Clayton is stopped.
Hey, if it results in his 27 knockouts, that's the best right hand you can lever. You're right, Al. What a